In the automotive industry, change is inevitable. With every release, manufacturers look to improve on their previous design. For the most part, these changes include quality of life improvements, safety features, and more. However, some of the changes these manufacturers make are more questionable than impactful. This leads to the question, are manufacturers really making improvements on their older cars? If you were to take a step back and analyze it, cars only seem to be getting more dangerous. Let's take a look at some of the questionable changes made to modern cars. The first design choice with new cars is simply making them bigger. If you took a specific model, and compared its size from 20 years ago to today, you would see a considerable difference in size. When cars are bigger, they are obviously heavier. If you were to get into an accident with a car significantly larger than yours, then you would be taking most of the force, which in turn could lead to more fatalities. This is exactly the issue with bigger cars. Deaths from cars have slowly been rising as of recently. People have noticed this and said, hey, if I wanted to keep my family safe, I need a bigger car. So they go out and buy a Chevy Tahoe. In effect, manufacturers have noticed that and have said, hey, people like buying big cars, let's make our cars bigger. It's no surprise that this is why cars have only become bigger over time. It's not only the outside of the car changing, but also the inside. Have you ever heard of the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? In recent years, a very big change to cars has been replacing the gear selector with buttons. The beautiful thing about the stick gear selector is you're physically changing the gear yourself by moving the stick. When this is changed to buttons, the car relies on software to change the gear. One company that sticks out the most in this department is Tesla. In their recent models, the gear selector is on the screen, instead of being something you physically interact with. This is even worse. There have been countless reports of Tesla screens not working properly, which means you literally cannot drive. There is a reason why old cars are still on the road today, and are so reliable. On the topic of software, this presents another issue. Everything is on software now. If you were to take any car that is less than 3 years old, chances are all of its controls are on the touchscreen. This could be done to create a minimalistic feel inside of the car, which is strangely also a trend in modern cars, but it makes everything so much of a hassle to do. Putting everything on the touchscreen makes it more dangerous, because you now have to take your eyes off of the road to turn on a heated seat. When asked why companies do this, they say that it's expensive to make physical knobs and buttons on their cars, so they just put everything into the software. When something doesn't work, they can just say it's a software issue. The amount of software in modern cars, favoring touchscreens over physical controls, not only complicates user interaction and raises safety concerns, but is completely unnecessary for newer cars. In conclusion, manufacturers need to stop trying to innovate on what already works, and just make cars as safe and reliable as possible. Many of these changes lead to problems that didn't need to exist in the first place. Next time you go car shopping, think about if those new exclusive never-before-seen features are really worth the hefty price tag.